Say this is not a partisan witch hunt.
Yeah, Joey, they tell me it is not. Senator Kurt Schaefer from Columbia says he's talked to lawmakers on both sides of the aisle. He says there is bipartisan agreement that the committee needs to investigate the command decisions of the law enforcement response to the Ferguson unrest. The Joint Committee on Governmental Accountability held its first hearing today. This comes in the aftermath of the Ferguson riots after the grand jury's decision not to indict Darren Wilson. Senators say the focus is narrow, to investigate the state's response to the Ferguson riots and hold accountable those officials making the decisions.
This thing may blow up. This thing may be bigger than you guys can even fathom. Once we start subpoenaing records and looking at the cross communication and the cross dialogues, because what I've heard coming from the mayor and Ferguson is that this can be semi-criminal.
Officials say one of the main issues before the committee is why the governor failed to place more National Guard troops in Ferguson directly after the grand jury's announcement.
What is baffling to me and many others and my constituents and first responders, quite frankly, is to why the National Guard was in other places, including Clayton and downtown, but not in Ferguson as one of our communities burned.
A statement from Governor Nixon's office says there were more than 700 guardsmen deployed to nearly 100 locations around the St. Louis region, including the Ferguson command post. There were also nearly 500 law enforcement officers, including 150 state troopers in Ferguson. The Joint Committee says it's also focused on the money.
There's upwards of $16 million that's been committed by the state of Missouri to the response. And so as part of the investigation of the accountability of what happened, I think that someone's going to have to explain where that money went and what it was used for.
The Joint Committee says there's no final cost for the Ferguson response yet. The committee will release a report at the end of its investigation.
Dan, thank you. The Joint Committee tells us the investigation may take some time and there's no expected date for its completion. Right now,